Well, Elon Musk, the Tesla CEO and supposed richest guy in the world, go bankrupt in 2025. That's the subject of today's video, and in fact, it may be a lot closer than you realize. Tesla just reported their delivery numbers today. They're not good, and in fact, Tesla stock is crashing. Check out these headlines here. Tesla's global vehicle deliveries fell in 2024 for the first time in years. And Tesla annual deliveries fall for the first time as competition hurts demand. And Tesla shares slide after reports first drop in annual deliveries. Now, I'm going to show you a chart right here that the Tesla fanboys and fangirls will never show you. This chart is the key to understanding why Elon Musk could go bankrupt, why the company is failing, and essentially why it looks very, very bad for their future. Now, basically what this is, and this is just based on, I'll read it here, Tesla records first ever drop in annual electric vehicle deliveries, right? How many cars they deliver. In the past, say in 2014, you got what? 41% growth, right? 2015, 59% growth, right? You got this crazy growth. 2018, right? 138% growth. And you had a big spike in 2021. 87% growth, right? And so at that time, all of these Tesla stock fanboys and fangirls are like, hey guys, Tesla's going to grow 50% a year forever, and we're all going to be, gazillionaires. And Elon Musk is the fairy godmother, right? In 2024, decline 1.1%. It is right there. You can see in the chart, growth, growth, growth. Now we have decline. And it's very obvious what's happening. The competition is real. I keep telling you guys that. I live here in Korea. I can tell you Hyundai and Kia are real cars. Genesis is a real car. I can tell you, say in China, the BYD is a real car. If you want to talk about Europe, right? Mercedes, BMW, real cars. In Japan, you talk about Honda, Toyota, real cars. And, the Tesla people always act like that Tesla's going to have like 100% market share and all these other car companies are going to go out of business. It's like absolute insanity. And this is, why they believe that. Because at a time when Tesla's young, right, when it's an early company, it can grow. You can make one car. The next year you can make two cars. 100% growth. Oh my God, right? The next year you can make four cars. 100% growth. Wow. When you're early on, you can grow heavily, but you reach a certain point, you just can't grow anymore. And that's what you're seeing. Look at this, guys. You can see right here. This is the key chart right here. There used to be growth in deliveries. And then essentially now we don't have growth. In fact, we're in decline. Here's what else is really important to understand this story about Tesla. They were trying so hard just to get the delivery numbers to be good that they were basically shaving their profit margins, right? So they're offering you discounts. They're offering you, low 0% finance loans, right? These kind of things. They're even in China, like the government's trying to help out Tesla, or we could say all EVs. They were basically subsidizing the trade-ins, which is again nothing that the Tesla stock fanboys and fangirls would ever tell you. They just talk about, growth, growth, growth. We're the best company in the whole world. But this chart tells you right here, they are a car company, and essentially they're not growing anymore. In fact, they're in decline. You can see it right there. The stock, we can record this date. Is it December 17th ends up being the peak of Tesla stock, and it's all downhill from here? Who knows? But that's what it is. It's down 20.88% as of recording right now. In the last 5 days, it's down 18%. And essentially, if you understand this stuff, Elon Musk, his whole wealth is based on the value of the stock, basically. And this thing can move on a, any kind of a headline that comes out about what's going on with the company, or what is he doing politically, or any kind of crazy stuff. And you guys know there's been a lot of crazy stuff going on with Tesla. And this is sort of why we track all of these things, because it essentially is the key to the market. Much of our market is overvalued, and Tesla is the most overvalued stock and the hype stock on the market. Here's another headline here. Tesla annual sales slip for the first time as competition grows. And here's another chart. It shows this is electric vehicle sales annual. There's Tesla, there's BYD. If you don't know BYD, actually Warren Buffett, right, the famous investor, actually was backing BYD, right? It's a Chinese company, and they've been making great inroads in all around the world. But I'm just telling you guys, it's more than just BYD. I'm here in Korea, and I can just tell you the Korean car manufacturers are real. Just wait till the Japanese manufacturers get into this game. And the thing is that the Tesla fanboys and fangirls, what they always try to do, they try to compare Tesla to only other electric vehicles, which I think is a bit misleading, because you have to look at like all cars in general, right? I think it's pretty ridiculous to say, okay, just only compare, say, for example, Cybertrucks to other electric trucks where there's like only a few in the market, and they say, oh, wow, he's leading the market, right? But it's a bit disingenuous because as a consumer, when you go to look to buy a vehicle, you're looking at everything, right? Do you want to get a hybrid? Do you want to get a gas? Do you want to get electric? So the idea that, oh, I'm only going to compare electric to electric isn't really necessarily real, because I'm just telling you in the real world, when I tell my wife, I say, hey, maybe we should get an electric car. She's like, no. It's like, okay. She's like, we're going to get a hybrid or we're going to get a regular one. And I actually like electric cars, to be perfectly frank, but it's a non-starter in this house. And I'll be curious what you guys think, in your family, if you only look at electric or you look at all types of cars. So there's that. You also got this, and it kind of fits in perfectly if you understand this story. Elon Musk knows, right? He's not stupid. But he knows his fans are. He knows, though, his car company's failing, and essentially he's been pivoting to other things, right? So he spends all his day on Twitter. He's playing video games. He's talking about other countries, right? Getting involved in other countries' politics. He tweets out memes nonstop. And then essentially he's just like trying to, do other things. This is the headline here. It says, how Elon Musk planted himself almost literally at Trump's doorstep. I guess he's staying at some sort of like, they call this a cottage on Mars-Largo. And I always call it Mars-Largo. But it is $2,000 a night to stay there. So basically he's trying to be as close physically, right? And I guess you could argue politically to Trump as possible, and trying desperately to save his company. If you don't know, guys, Tesla gets half their profits from carbon credits, right? Regulatory credits. If those go away, I mean, you're looking at a major hit. So not only do you have deliveries and declining growth, you have a major hit to where their profits come from, right? So no more of that sweet regulatory credits. Also, there's an incentive to buy Teslas if you have the EV tax credit. So that's another thing that could go away. Essentially, right, Musk is looking for any kind of, government help, subsidies. People can also, refer to Musk as essentially the welfare corporate queen, or the corporate welfare queen, I suppose way to say it. He is he's looking pretty desperate. And a lot of people say, oh, no, but Chris, you don't understand that he's the richest guy in the world. And I say, no, you don't understand. His wealth is based on his stock, and he borrows money based on his stock. And essentially, this is part of his contract with Tesla. He can't even necessarily borrow against all of his stock. And then also his pay package, which includes a bunch of stock compensation options, etc., is tied up in the courts. And he's been desperate trying to get that approved, which is a whole other issue. The basic gist of it is that he has the board of directors in his pocket. They're not independent, right? And so basically they wrote this crazy contract that screwed regular retail investors. But that's something that Tesla and Elon Musk do all the time. They try to pull the wool over, frankly, amateurs' eyes. And there's no other way to put it. I just show you guys everything to the best of my ability, and you can see the numbers for yourself. This is over on Google. I mean, please just go look. It's right there. You can see this is true. Their revenues do go up, but their income is kind of flat. This is also, and this is both either annual or quarterly, right? You can see revenue up and down a bit, but their income is not great. So essentially, yes, you can have revenue, but you got to talk about expenses and income, right? How much money is actually coming through the door, and you're keeping it, right? Not necessarily just kind of flowing through. Because see here, I'm just showing you some headlines for the last couple of quarters. Tesla's profits fall for second straight quarter, or you got stuff like this, how government programs help fuel Tesla profit. Behind closed doors, right? They say different things than in public, and this would be one of the big Tesla stock promoters, Kathy Wood. She's selling Tesla stock. This has been, that was back in December 24th. There's another headline today, January 2nd. She's selling yet more Tesla stock. The insiders are selling. This would be like the board of, the head of the board of, was it the chair of the board of directors, Robin Denham. Elon Musk's own brother is selling. Which is even more concerning, the Tesla CFO, right? The chief financial officer is selling. And that's the replacement because the prior one quit. This sounds like Enron to me. It smells like Enron. I've talked about this several times on the channel, but I just want to keep you guys updated on this stuff because people always ask, how long can this, Ponzi go? Well, that's why we're watching. That's why I said, maybe it's that December 17th date ends up being the peak of Tesla stock. And you get these wild, headlines. This is on Fox News. So this would be a pro Elon Musk channel. This is what they say. Elon Musk moves Starbase to Texas, to the official gateway to Mars, right? So when your hero, right, your deity your god, right? Because people worship Elon Musk as he heads his cult. Essentially, this is a cult following, and they're all talking about humanoid robots and going to Mars. Musk has a bunch of kids with multiple women. He's building a compound in Austin. I mean, this is pretty culty, guys. and, let's go to Mars, guys. It's the gateway to Mars. This is literally from Fox News, which is a pro Musk channel, and you can't make this stuff up. And then Elon Musk is promising all these people riches, right? Oh yeah, the stock's gonna be worth 30 trillion. Everything's gonna be awesome because we're gonna have humanoid robots, and we're gonna look back. We're gonna look back at this period and be like, yep, that was clearly a bubble, right? I mean, these are headlines. Elon Musk has volunteered his sperm. Yes, you heard that right, sperm, to help colonize a Martian city in the next 20 years. And I laugh at this stuff, but it's also creepy. I'll just be frank. It is also creepy. Because just imagine this. Let's say you work with this dude in your office and he's like walking around the office asking, female employees, hey, would you like my sperm? Would you like to help me make babies? Like it's sexual harassment. There's no other way to put it. And you're probably like, how does this go on? Well, he gets sued, but then he'll just settle out of court. I think one time he offered you guys correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say it was a masseuse, and he said, "Would you like a pony or something like that?" I'm talking about a horse. I don't know. Ask Elon Musk. Like you get these weird stuff, and then they just settle out of court, and you're like, okay, whatever. This is actually official Tesla communication. Like I said, we're gonna look back in history. We're all gonna laugh at this stuff. Now, the Tesla fanboys and fangirls will say, "Oh, Chris, you're just too stupid to see Elon Musk's future. Don't you know? We're all gonna want to play with robots in our home." Right? These are actually official Tesla communications. This was in their last big promotion event where they said they're gonna have these robot cars, and they released these pictures of all these awesome, and if you wonder how they do this stuff, it's like a puppet kind of thing. They have a dude with a headset, and they'll like control it, remotely, and that's how they can do this, these photos. But basically, they're trying to convince you that we're all going to be buying robots. The problem is that like so many people live paycheck to paycheck. It's not like we're going on to spend a bunch of money on a robot. They're trying to convince you they're going to sell these things for like 30, but I bet you they come in at 100. And I'm getting that price from like, that's essentially what Boston Dynamics charges for these kind of things. And it's not hard to figure out that this stuff wouldn't be cheap. But essentially they're stock promoters. And if you don't know, Elon Musk has his platform, Twitter. He calls it X now, and he pays a bunch of content creators on that platform. So they actually get money for posting a bunch of nonsense. And then Farzad, he's one of the king stock promoters. And this is the kind of stuff that he writes. These are real posts, right? Like I said, we're going to look back and laugh at this stuff, but these are real posts. He says, this is Farzad, given the developments with FSD, and that means full self-driving, that's the robot driving, but it's kind of a misnomer. It doesn't actually work the way they say it is. But there's that. So given the recent developments with full self-driving and Tesla bot, he's referring to the humanoid robot, the quarterly delivery numbers are inconsequential. So he's saying, just don't worry about those car delivery numbers. We're not a car company. We're a robot company. This is their real words. Like I said, it's laughable if you look at this from a logical perspective, but that's what a bubble looks like. As long as Tesla continues to exponentially improve FSD, which provide the core technology for the bot, they'll win a lot. Pretty simple IMO, Tesla, right? And then he actually, Farzad is an interesting guy. He actually has a separate account on over on the Twitter called Farzad. I mean, he just started that. Supposedly you have to pay $10,000 a year to get these things. And is Farzad hiring other people to do his channel now? Possibly, who knows? Some people do this because then he posts videos with this other dude on his channel. Like, so it'd be like suddenly, I still have my channel, but then I just have other people appear on it all the time without me. That would be a bit weird. So that's essentially what Farzad's up to. This other dude, and this is what the Tesla stock promoters do. They show you all these fancy charts. Everything goes, to the crazy to the moon direction. And they just tell you how you're all going to be rich. And this story right now, the fairy tale they're telling you is Tesla humanoid robots. You're all going to be rich, guys. And then they have like these, groups and packs of Tesla stock promoters that meet, and they'll just talk about how awesome Elon is. That's all they do. It's really interesting. And it's funny because, I'll show you another one here. This is so merit. That's all they do. There's all these people go into space and they just talk about how awesome Elon is. And what's funny is I did a live stream of the Tesla earnings, and I invited a friend who's a professor, right? Smart guy of AI and essentially, engineering. And it was funny because I had never asked him about Tesla before. I just never talked about it before. And, during the thing, it was like the first time we talked about it, I said, what do you think about Elon? And basically he's just like, the dude's a fraud. That was like the first thing. And it was just like, wait, what? And it was funny because the reason why I bring this up to you is just ask a simple question. Just ask any one of these Tesla stock promoters, like, what's their education, right? What's their knowledge of engineering, and these kind of things. And I promise you, none of these people have a good education. I can tell from their language. It's easy to see. It's obvious. But unfortunately, because of retail investors, right, I'll just try to be nice about that. We'll just say they're new to the market, new to this kind of stuff. They're easily fooled by snake oil salesmen. And then sort of these people will say, well, but the people on Wall Street think it's awesome. But that's again part of the sham, because remember, there's people on Wall Street that will cheat you. There's people out there that will sell, anything to you just to get your money. And that's how some people get rich, is by lies and deceit. And that's essentially what Tesla stock is. It is a big Ponzi. I just show you guys these numbers and asking these people, if you guys are a Tesla fanboy, fangirl, ask them, so why is the PE so high, right? Why is the PEG so high? If you don't know, this is just basically how do you price a stock, the ratio between, how much a company actually makes, like this, how much money you bring in and how much you price the stock for. And it's just like ludicrous levels. You could argue the stock is, 20 to 6 times overvalued, right? If you want to compare it to other car companies, and this is just, percentages, like, is it 1,000% overvalued? Is it 800% overvalued? Like this, I'm just throwing up the screen. You guys can see these numbers. And so it is no wonder that Elon Musk doesn't even talk about his car company, right? And this is at a time when we just had this crazy explosion at the Las Vegas, right? This was a Cybertruck. You guys know this would explode. We made a couple videos about this, but a Cybertruck exploded in front of the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas, and he spends all his time like doing other stuff. You got this weird story. I told you guys about this. We don't know where this money, or you could say assets, probably better to say, is going. Headline: Musk donate 108 million in Tesla shares to unnamed charities. Who knows where that stuff goes? I do know though that Musk's charity doesn't ever meet. He has like this, it's called the Musk Foundation. If you want to look it up, you can. But I'll tell you, it's not even really a real website. It's just like a couple text. Like, it's not like you'll know when you see it. It's like, it's just text. It's like 5 lines. And they don't even really have that any employees over there. And whenever he does give money away, it's usually connected to himself in some way. So, who knows where this money's going. And then he just tweets out about now he's involved to UK, politics and nonsense nonstop. And then he's talking about Canada here. This is just 33 minutes ago. This one was like 31 minutes ago, talking about UK, talking about Canada. You get these headlines about Germany, right? He's going to host another far right online chat. Another far right stuff. He's been supporting some dude in, I'm talking about the last couple of videos, Tommy Robinson dude. I guess he even changed his name or something. It's just some far right person. These aren't good people, right? And that's the kind of guy he's supporting. And and then now he's tweeting stuff about North Africa and Italy or whatever. Like, I can't keep track of this stuff. It is, the Wall Street Journal originally said it was like 73 tweets a day. I think it's more than that now, because that original report was like a month or so ago. And now it's like, okay, and you don't want these headlines as a CEO of a publicly traded company. You don't want these headlines. Elon Musk accused of trying to weaken Europe with support for far right AfD party. And it's not just like randomly made. This is like the stuff that he tweets out. And he even wrote an op-ed thing recently supporting that. And then you got this. This is the stuff that he tweets out. This is a repost 6 hours ago. I don't know if I can even say this. We'll just say this. It depicts a Terra type person. And then it shows how Tesla and Elon Musk are trying to, turn this into an ad. Like the exploding, burning Tesla in front of the Trump Hotel. They're trying to spin it as a good thing. And that's essentially what they do over there. They do this magic show. They run their Ponzi, and they have all of these paid promoters to just tell you a bunch of nonsense. That's why I said, guys, first, this is the iconic photo of 2025, a burning Cybertruck in front of the Trump Hotel. And this is the key chart that you need to understand when you're talking about this, is they're not growing. It's right there. They're not growing. They're not meeting their crazy expectations for the future that everyone has. And so the story they're trying to sell you is we're going to have a whole bunch of humanoid robots. That's the story. And it's laughable, right? It's absolutely laughable. And the Tesla fanboys and fangirls, this is the question I have for you. Do you have an engineering degree? And do you understand these numbers that I'm showing you? If not, you're getting fooled. And I warn you, be very, very careful out there. Because not everyone will tell you the truth on this stuff. So I appreciate your time, and I'll catch you all in the next video.